Hello everyone, my name is Manisha Medida. I'm working as an assistant professor in CSC department of St. Martin's Engineering College. Today I'm going to discuss about what is DBMS and basics of basic components of DBMS. First, we will come into what is DBMS. First of all, when we see the what is DBMS, the complete form of DBMS is nothing but database management system. First of all, to let into in detail what is DBMS, we need to categorize this DBMS into data and database. Then only we can go for database management. So it's all about the terminology of DBMS. First we will look into what is data. So what is data is data is nothing but raw components which we can collect from the objects or about the persons. It might be a images, it might be a names, or it might be a roll numbers. For example, if for example, if I consider a student, if I consider a student as an object, if I consider this one as a object, then it will be a data. What the data the student can have? Student id, student name, and student department. These all this student can hold. When these all together only we can, when these all together only we can say this one is that particular student name is this one, and that particular student id is one, and the name is so called abc, and the department is he is related to csc. Okay, so when these only one I have the table like a student, some of the roll numbers 1 2 3, and in another table if I have like name like A, B, C. Then we don't know the particular roll number one name is what. That particular roll number two name is what, we don't know. Why? Because it is a data only, collection of data only. We just collect the data and we just stored in somewhere place. But there is no relation between the data. So that means there is no meaningful form at this level. So to give a meaningful form to this raw data, we need to go for the information. When we give meaningful definition to a collection of data, then it will consideration of information. Information is nothing but converting the data into a more meaningful form. Then it is meaningful, then any user or any person, any object can access the data and then make decision depends on that data. For example, if you see here, you can consider report card as a example. Why? Because in that report card student roll number will be and student name will be, and respective what are the subjects which that person has in that semester, and respective marks also we can. So everything is in a meaningful way. Just by seeing that report card we can analyze the data and we can manage the data. So now we will look into one animated video of a demonstration of what is a data and what is information, how the data is converting into a meaningful form of information. If you see properly, if I consider here one object is there, at the starting we don't know what that object is. One person is coming, when we can consider that person as a database administrator. What that person will do is that person analyze the data and that person collect the unstructured data and components of that particular object, and he will group of that objects into a meaningful form, and after he will store that collected form of meaningful informed data into one place. And when as a end user, if I go and see the data, when the data is already in a meaningful form, then we can understand. For example, that is in a yellow color and that is with the width and height, then we can consider, we can finalize that as a squig. So this is the particular demonstration about the database, data and information. And next we will see, so we what is about data? Data is nothing but a raw structure of the information, and information is nothing but the meaningful form to the data. Then database is nothing but a collection of related data which will store in electronical device in a systematic manner. So here we are highlighting, I want to highlight the 3 points. What are they is, here I am saying database is a electrically stored and systematic collection of related data. Okay, so I want to highlight here electronically stored and systematic collection and as well as related data. So to simplify this database definition in a more and creative way, I am collecting these three terms into different examples, and I will explain this definition by taking three examples. Okay, now we will see how I am simplifying this database definition. I am simplifying this definition whatever I already shown in previous slide. Here data is a collection of related data, and database is nothing but stored electronically in computer system. What we will store? We will store data which has meaningful form. That is nothing but information only we will store in a electronic computer systems. And next, in a systematic way only we need to store. Why? Because if we arrange, if we manage systematically, then only it will be a grateful organization. So to go in detail, I will take one by one examples to this, then I will explain. Here first word, first sentence what I am taking is a collection of related data. To this I am taking one example. Here the example what I am taking is, here I am considering one organization. Every organization, our college also we can consider one of the database applications. So here I am considering this one is a college. And what college will function it? For example, one topic I am taking that is regarding of the course enrollment. Here are the courses. What students, teachers will do? Teachers will enroll to the courses and they will teach the courses. And as well as what students will do? Students also enroll will enroll and will get the classes from that courses. So here what they are, teachers doing enrollment and as well as students also doing enrollment. So both are enrolling to the courses only. If these three are interrelated, then only I can get the complete information about the courses, who are enrolling to the courses, who are handling that courses, and as well as who are getting the information from the courses. We need to know, and that one will happen through only when these three terms, for example, if I consider this one as a entity 1, this one as a entity 2, and this one as a entity 3, three tables of information we need to collect it together, then only we can store that entire information into the database, where we can store this one, where the database, this college will maintain one database relating to the courses, and in that course database we need to store that all information, and this will organized by the college only. And this one is the example for collection of related data. Next we will see how we can store the electronically. Okay, for nowadays we are all doing, when we want to get into any college to do the admission process, nowadays what we are doing, we are simply downloading the admission form from the net and we are simply digitally filling it and we are submitting digitally. But few years back we do not have such facility. What we have to do, our parents or we have to go to the college and we need to collect the admission form. We need to fill that admission form manually and we need to submit it, and that college will do what? College persons will file that all admission forms, according to they will process the data. But nowadays what we are all are doing, we are converting this process, what we have done in earlier, we are simply doing, we just digitalized the process. What we are doing, simply we are from the college website we are getting the admission form, and we are filling it. Again we are giving our all details, where this all details is going to store in a database only. In a college database only, this all information will get stored. So this one is the example for how the information is storing electronically in a computer system. And next, the third one is systematic manner. I am using here the term is systematic manner. What is a systematic manner is, if you see here example, I have two tables. One is department table and another one is employee table, or else student table also we can call it. Here what department table holds department ID and department name, and what here this employee table holds here employee table, employee ID, employee name, and the designation and the employee of that particular salary. We'll go into in detail. We can take the two tables and we need to save in department table we need to store the department details, and in employee table we need to store the, here I am taking here I am taking two tables. One is employee table and another one is department table. Here I am taking two tables as an example to show how systematically we will arrange a data and what is the necessity to arrange systematically the particular data. Here I am considering employee table and as well as department table. In employee table, what normally we can have, one is employee ID and another one is employee name, and if I wanted I can mention is here as date of joining of that particular employee. And department table, what columns usually we can, department ID and department name. Here the tuples, for example, these what we are calling, these we can call it as a fields. Fields are nothing but columns, and whatever records we will insert into row by row, we can call those as a tuples. And here the name I am calling as a employee and here the name I am calling as a department, right? So we call this table name as a relation instead of us saying a table. In a DBMS terminology, we call table as a relation. Now I am taking randomly three employee IDs and their names like Mani, Siri, and Bensi. Like I am considering, and their date of joining as per like 15 July and 24, 15 August 24. Like that I am taking here. So this table is filled with data. And now I am taking here, there is only two departments. Two departments. Here I am taking one department as a ECE and another department as a ECE. CSE and ECE departments I am taking. If I want to collectively get the data from these two tables, and the third table will contains employee ID, department ID. No need to consider all the columns which are presented in the each and every table. Then I can consider here their age, or else I can consider here salary or whatever I wanted. Okay, how I can relate here, if I mention 1, 2, 3 for example, and departments I am mentioning 1, 2, 1, and the salary is like 60k, 50k and 40k. So this is it is showing systematically. Here the first person is money and related to which department. Here I am saying department ID is 1 and that department ID indicates CSE. So the money person is related to CSE department and that person's salary is 60K. And another one, second person employee ID Siri, and that Siri is belonging to the ECE department. Okay, and that ECE department, and she is drawing 50K salary. Like that, again, third person is belonging to the department of CSE only. Okay, so if we arrange a data in a systematic way, it will be easy to retrieve and it will be easy to perform operations on that particular database. So, here database is nothing but, at last in three categories we mentioned, database is nothing but storing a collection of related data, storing electronically in a systematic manner. Now we will see, so till at we have seen what is data and what is information and what is database. Data is nothing but raw collection and information is nothing but giving meaningful form to the collective data, and a database is nothing but storing that informative data in a electronically systematic way. Now we will see what is database. Database is nothing, database management systems is nothing but, till yet we have seen what is data, and these all are to do all operations. For example, if I want to create any data, if I want to define the data, and if I want to manipulate a data, here the manipulation is nothing but, you can, for example, nowadays data is not static. In day to day, not hour to hour, minute to minute, it is changing. Then updations are needed. Here manipulate is nothing but updations are needed. What type of operations we can perform on data is, we can perform insertion operation. First of all, we need to do create operation, next insert operation. Next, if I want to go for deletion, then I can perform delete operation. If I want to update any record, up to yesterday, if the person is staying in Hyderabad, and the address will be that person is Hyderabad. If he changed to another place, we need to go for updation. So, update query also we can use. And if I want to alter, then we can use the alter. If I want to drop entire, then I can use the drop. These all operations we need to perform on data. And we can't trust any employees. For example, if any organization there, we can't even trust the all employees. That's why we can't give each and every access of operations to each and every person. We need to limit the access, and we need to organize the data in a secure way. So that's why to do all this, we needed to manage the data, we need one software. So here the database management is nothing but is a software tool which allow the users to perform the operations on data. You can diagrammatically represent it. Here the database is there. Here this one is a database, and this one is DBMS. What DBMS is doing? DBMS is acting like a platform which is allowing different types of users here to access, to allow them to perform operations on database. For example, here one application is related to a student, and another application is I am taking as a faculty. If it is a data of a college and that is managing by the DBMS, what students are not allowed to view all the personal details of the particular class members. Then, but to faculty, if I am acting as a class teacher as that particular session, I am allowed to view all the personal information of each, and if 69 members are there, 69 members details I can get. But this student, what will, for example, if he is a student 1, this student 1 is allowed to view only his or her details only. So that one limited by the That one limited and decided by the DBMS only. Who is handling DBMS, that person only will give access to the users up to which limit they can retrieve the data and up to which limit they can perform operations on particular data. And view representations also will decide by the DBMS administrators only. Okay, so simply we can say DBMS is nothing but a software tool which allow the users to perform the operations on database. Here I just mentioned database is a one, but multiple databases we can have, and that multiple databases can handled by the DBMS through the application interfaces. And one type of DBMS is sufficient to handle any type of data. Here I am saying any type of data means, for example, sometimes data will be in the form of digits. Sometimes it will be in the form of text, or else it will be in the form of multimedia like audios, videos. These different types of data we can have. To handle all these types, one DBMS is fine? Obviously not. What we have to different types of databases we have, and to based on the particular data on which we are going for operations, then depends on that databases also, the DBMS types also will differ. Now we will see the types of DBMS. Here I am projecting 4 types of DBMS we have. What are they? First one is hierarchical DBMS, second one is network DBMS, relational DBMS, and object oriented DBMS. Now we will see a quick view about each and every DBMS type. So here I am taking hierarchical. First one is hierarchical DBMS. Hierarchical DBMS we can consider as a first generation. When we went to the history of DBMS, we have 3 generations. First generation, second generation, and obviously the third generation. In that first generation category, we have 2 types. What are they is? One is hierarchical and another one is network. So hierarchical representation is nothing but represent how we are going to represent and which data we are representing. Here hierarchical means it is a tree structure. Have you all know about the tree structure, right? Usually when the tree, it is a tree representation, we can have a root element and this one is followed by child elements. Like this we will arrange a data. So this is nothing but tree structure. So to all these elements, only one parent will be. Parent and child relation also we can consider. Whoever we have parents and their parents, we can consider as a ancestors, and children we can consider as a descendants. How the structure is seems like right now. Like this only we need to organize the data. It is a simple and basic structure which we followed at the time of first generation. And when comes to a network model, when comes to a network type, it is just an extra, it is also related to a first generation only, but it is extension to, we can say it is a extension to the hierarchical model. Hierarchical in previous we just, it is converted to tree structure to a graph structure. That is the only change to hierarchical to the network model. How we can say there is one college and this college can have the common faculty, and another side they can have the students, and we can have the courses. These all will connect like this we can mention. Okay, so that means nodes and edges representation. If we use a nodes and edges representation graph, that is network model. And next one is relational model. Relational already mentioned, relation is nothing but a table. Relational DBMS. That means The relation itself we can call it as a table. Okay, so what usually table will contain? Usually table will contain rows and columns. So whatever data, if we want to maintain in a relational database, we need to organize the data in a rows and columns only. Here we call rows as a tuples, row as a tuple and column as a field. Okay, and whatever description which we are going to give about one object, that will be a column 1. Each and every feature will be column 1, column 2 and column 3 and column 4. The respective data of collection of that fields we can mention as a entity 1, tuple 1, tuple 2, tuple 3. That means row 1, row 2, row 3. So in this representation only we have to represent in a relational mode. And when we go in detail, we can apply integrities also. We can apply integrity. Integrity is nothing but a rule, depends on the constraints. When we have this, when we go for the complexity of management, we need to go in detail, integrities, constraints, primary keys, these all. So it's all about the relational model which we do under as a, in relational RDBMS. Next one is object. Next one is object relational. In object relational, we have the two fields. One is attribute and another one is methods. Whatever we have taken as a column names, you can mention attribute 1 and description of that object, and we can create some methods regarding of that, how object programming we will work. Here also we can make the relation between two or more objects. So it's all about the types of the DBMS. So what is data and what is DBMS and what is database we have seen. Now we will go for the the applications of DBMS. Wherever now we see, in every field and everywhere we are seeing DBMS application only. Present our college database we can consider as a one of the DBMS application. And if I go for airport reservations, those all I can consider, these all in every sector, in every field, we can consider that field as a application of DBMS only. Next we can have the advantages. Advantage, different types of advantage. This DBMS has, when compared to traditional model, it has many applications, many advantages, and I am listing here few of the advantage. One is security, integrity. Abstraction is nothing but hiding unnecessary data from the unauthorized users. And data sharing and flexibility and scalability, these are the main key points as a advantage of DBMS. Next we will see the disadvantage. As well as how we have advantages, some of the disadvantages also we have. What are they? When we consider the cost of the hardware and software will be more, and when we are going for managing the large scale of data, obviously complexity will be on day to day life. And when we are going for the dynamic pages, repeated upgradations will be needed. And if any part of the DBMS is damaged, entire system will collapse. And this one of the, I am showing only few of the disadvantages. And have a look of this video until at what I have discussed, what is data and what is DBMS and what is information, what is database, and how we can store systematically, electrically and related data. If you consider here one person is there, if this person is a person, and the description of that person will be information. If I want to go for the knowing about that person, I needed information, not a, raw unstructured data. So you can see here how it is related data. And next you can see here electronically computer stored data. And next how it is going to be in a systematic way. You can observe here. Thank you.